Markerville Cream Can is a roadside attraction that was erected in 1988 to commemorate the Icelandic settlers who founded the area and developed the creamery and nearby agricultural land. At 8.5 feet tall and 4.5 feet wide, it has a capacity of 2,800 liters. That's a lot of cream. Hey folks, and welcome to this week's installment of Alberta, where we explore the informal, unwritten history of South Central Alberta. Now, Albertan culture isn't just flames versus oilers or camping in the Rockies, and it also isn't just agriculture in the prairies or the oil and gas economy, but conventional tourism often focuses on just these aspects, and in doing so, misses out on the Alberta eccentric. So today, we're taking a road trip through small-town Alberta to visit some curious local history museums, such as the historic Markerville Creamery. And we're also going to marvel at the grandeur of some of the roadside attractions along the way. So let's get on the road! Visit any small town in Alberta and I can almost guarantee that you'll find a local history museum. In dying or stagnant settlements like some small towns, villages, and hamlets in Alberta, the local history museum is an integral part of their tourism economy. You could turn a simple visit to a museum into a full-fledged road trip, driving from town to town and visiting each local museum to see what kind of peculiarities have been immortalized as part of their town history. And while many museums throughout the province contain a poorly curated jumble of garage sale trinkets that are lovingly referred to as artifacts, other museums really do have an interesting theme that differentiates them from the others. From glorifying the banality of everyday life at the Sundry Museum to the well-dressed gophers at the Torrington Gopher Hole Museum, small-town Alberta is chock full of exhibits that will leave you scratching your head and wondering, have I really been missing out on this in favor of Banff and Canmore? And guess what? The eccentricity doesn't end indoors. Step outside and you'll find yourself in another world of oversized roadside oddity. Roadside attractions are very much an American and Western Canadian tradition, originating in the 1940s as a means of attracting tourists to commercial services like restaurants, cafes, and motels. Considering the high speeds that you might be traveling at on the highway, what better way to slow down traffic and attract visitors to your business than an oversized monument of whatever you may be selling? In Alberta, roadside attractions have come to serve as mascots for some small towns, from Bicycle, home to Squirt the Skunk, to Vauxhall, home to Sammy and Samantha, the potatoes. Here are some perhaps lesser-known attractions: the Cowboy Pumpjack in Caroline, and the world's largest animated grizzly bear in Innisfail. These attractions are so abundant across the province that you could also make a road trip out of visiting them. And not only would you be seeing some of the best roadside attractions Western Canada has to offer, but you'll also be driving through some of the most beautiful landscapes on your way to each stop. Look at all this prairie! Speaking of beautiful landscapes, have you ever visited the foothills? Because they're in between the Rockies and the prairies, they're often overlooked, but they offer some of the most breathtaking views you'll encounter in this region. You know, I bet there are some really bizarre roadside attractions here too. Especially in the Ghost Public Land Use Zone. It's kind of the last remnant of the Wild West, so there's bound to be something weird and wonderful here. Howdy folks, we're driving through the Ghost Public Land Use Zone, searching for some wacky roadside attractions.
I don't see anything.
Me neither.
Is this the only place in southern Alberta with no roadside attractions?
How are there no roadside attractions? I can't believe there are no roadside attractions! Where are all the roadside attractions?